Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon, Flat Earth, Homeland, and our new channel. Jersey and I, Woman of the Woods, it's her channel, but I'm temporarily overseeing it. So while we are going to do most of our product evaluation there's some things pressing on my mind which coincide with what I want to do, and that is give you directives. If you want to consider them suggestions, great. There's those of you listening who I have got to assume have enough intelligence and foresight, vision to understand that there is going to have to be leadership and enough biblical understanding. You know, you had prophets who led Israel. You had leaders, judges who judged Israel, and you had kings who ruled Israel. And in the New Testament, you had apostles, prophets, elders, teachers, etc. So you basically cannot get away from the fact that most people are sheep. That's why they need a shepherd. The Father analogizes, analogs, sheep with his people. Even in the Old Testament, you know, woe to you shepherds. Jeremiah 6:14, you dress the wound of my people as if it were not serious. Okay, I have been deadly serious for 17 years, actually going back to 1980. Okay, for 17 years now, I have been doing what I can to shepherd whoever out there is willing to listen. Okay, so that being said, like I said, I'm going to give what I consider to be commands, direct commands, orders. If you don't like that, fine, don't listen. Okay, for those of you who are willing to listen and take advice, which is all it is, you know, what did Yeshua say? He said, "If you love me, you'll keep my commandments." He didn't say, "If you love me, you will keep my suggestions or my advice." He said, "If you love me, you'll keep my commandments." Okay, so, and when I give a suggestion, if you want to call it that, or command, however you want to take it, directive, I like the word directive. It's like, this is just the way things ought to work, okay? That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm going to be saying is, this is the way this should be done. This is biblical. This is the principle behind it. If you have, well, I'll just give you an example right here, right now. I want some water. One of the things I'm going to talk about tonight, shovels. What do you need a shovel for? Dig a hole, keep you from being shot. You dig a hole, you put it up outside you, you got a berm outside, and you got to let your body lay down inside. Military group out on patrol or whatever, the second they stop, if they're stopped for 15 minutes, they're digging. Special Forces group, if they're in a wartime situation, okay? So just fact of life. But a good shovel is also a weapon. It's a paddle if you're crossing a river. It's a cut rope with it. You can cook on it, and I'm serious about that. Pretty decent little cooking surface. So it's a multi-purpose tool, and I'm going to suggest some. But one of the biggest reasons is it's biblical. It says in Torah that if you go out and do your duty, you take a dump, you have a paddle on your weapon, okay? So whether you're a spear carrier or you're a bow archer, on your weapon you have a paddle, or it's on your pocket or whatever, it's in a pouch, a belt. You have a paddle so that when you go to the bathroom number 2, you can bury it, so that the Lord thy God can walk among you, so that he walks on holy ground. So this is important. Sanitation is important. Why? Well, God doesn't like to walk around and step in shit. Number 1, angels don't like it either, I'm pretty sure. People don't like it. So number 2, it's unsanitary. Okay, so it's smelly, it's unsanitary. You bury it, pretty simple. So there's different issues, and sanitation is one that I'm going to be addressing. So. So that being said, and I said shovel, let's shovel it. Get one in here. I'm just going to show you some ideas. I'll have, as I have time, I'll get links below. They might be in the comment section, but I'll try to add them down in there somewhere, somehow. And, you know, do your own research. If you're out there and you're going to get involved with this, we get Patreon set up. You know, I'll send links in, but there's different shovels. Evaluate them, okay? This one is 5Joy. I saw a review of it by Lily, Survival Lily. Very good channel. Basically a badass woman, okay? Good sniper. Does everything in the woods, you know. So that's one. And the reason it's a multi-tool. It's got, you know, some compass and this and that, and a saw and a knife and all the other kinds of things. Now, as far as just a flat-out awesome piece of work, anything by Cold Steel is good. And if you watch any of their stuff, you know that they're very proud of what they make, and they're not that unreasonable. That shovel you can get for, I'm going to say $30. Get it with a sheath. That link has, these don't have prices, that's too bad. And sorry for the low-tech approach here, just the way it is. I get help someday or money, I'll get better, but that's 22 bucks. Comes with a sheath. That's a buy it now price, 22 bucks. That thing is a weapon. You can throw that and half cut somebody's head off. You can implant it in their chest. We've had them, my sons have them, I gave mine away. Somebody that I felt needed it for self-defense, and you can basically cut somebody's head off with a two-handed swat with that. It's basically a sword. So has a very sharp edge. You can make it sharper. You can sharpen both edges, or you can just leave the one. It comes sharpened with an edge. So that's one. I saw. Doggone it. Ooh. Nope. Where is it? The Ruskies are making shovels. Titanium. Not a bad idea. Titanium is very light. And I had it up, but I'm not seeing it. Nope. You know, if I had a computer, we tried to buy one, it didn't come through. You know, credit card maxed. But anyway, okay, get a shovel. The Cold Steel is excellent. The Russian Federation. Now, it'd be a while to get here for shipping-wise, but gummit. Okay. That's D-handle one, but they make one that looks just like the Cold Steel with a titanium head on it. That would be extremely light, extremely good for cooking on. Sharpen the edges, and it would be one heck of a deal there. So, all right, basic idea, get a shovel. That would be one of the most valuable things that you could possibly have. And then beyond that, let's say one step up, pool noodles, or somebody said better yet, piping insulation. It's already got a slit on it to get it around the pipe. What that paper stuff is, it looks like a ripstop paper. Might have glue on it, I don't know. But anyway, or it might be for sealing it. But that stuff is supposedly heavier duty or longer lasting than a pool noodle. And what I'm getting at here is pool noodles and that, you'd have to cut the hole in the pool noodle. This has already got a slit in it. You cut that to length, put it on a 5-gallon bucket, you've got a nice comfortable seat. I have tried pool noodles and they don't last but 2 or 3 sittings. So they're not really worth much. A garden hose would be better. A big fat garden hose or something like that. But this stuff, maybe if it's more durable, try it out. Okay. That's for dealing with number 2. And you do not need to buy blue stuff. You don't need to buy all this fancy, stupid composting toilets. They're a waste of money. You're probably never going to use them. They're kind of stupid in my book. Heavy, bulky. Get a 5-gallon bucket, a square bucket, round bucket, doesn't make any difference. You can get the bucket and just leave the lid on it, okay? Just cut a hole in the lid, and that gives you your seat. And that is fairly comfortable. We did that in an emergency situation one time. All right, so next thing was step up from that is boy, yeah, a computer would really be nice. I had pulled up, you get bucket lids, and I had to deal with 5 of them. Probably got shut down. Oh, crud. Okay. Your luggable loo, look that up, luggable loo. You got bucket lids that fit, a seat that fits on a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, so pick up some of those, something that you can have, that you have something to, and line that with a bag if you want. But if you're in a permanent situation, if you just need to bury it, drop it, and go, the bag is okay. If you're in a van, you use it, you can drive down in it. Truckers do it, throw the bag out the window. They've peed in it, Ziploc baggie or whatever, fling it out the window. That's not advisable. I'm not saying do that, but that's the only reason why I'd ever use a bag. The luggable loos that come with bags, waste of money, stupid. What you want to do is line the thing with like newspaper, magazines, or something. Because what are you going to do with the bag? If you're going to leave it sit out, it's going to always, the bag does not biodegrade that fast. So you've got a mess, you got an accident waiting to happen. Someone steps in it, steps on it, it burns, whatever, you've got a mess. Just, basically you want to bury your stuff. So I like lining the bucket with newspapers, magazines, and just, it's easier to clean out that way. So here, I found that one. It's just 5 lids, okay? Not a bad deal, okay? $60, $70, 5 of them, I'm sure you can do better than that, but there you go. Now for cleaning yourself off, whether a woman, wedding, number 1 or number 2, and I'm going to tell you this is a $1 million idea right here. This is the kind of thing, think outside the box. Wash bottles. Now I found these. They're very hard to find in lots. They used to be, you could find these all day long. You cannot find any of these made in America. I mean, every single one is from China. But that deal right there is 5 of them for $350, $355. I would order 100 of those. Every one of those is worth about 100 cases of toilet paper. I know people who are buying toilet paper. Well, you know that when blah, blah, blah went down in Vietnam or whatever, or Africa or Germany, toilet paper was worth more than money. Well, that's worth 1,000 cases of toilet paper. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been using the same bottle for 6 or 7 years, okay? And one of those per family would be good. If everybody had one in a unit, a search and rescue team or whatever, a military unit, you take the little thing that goes down to the bottom, take that off. You don't get any other kind but that one right there. That's the one you got to have, the type. And we just got a bunch of them. Jersey ordered some. They got here. They're great, and they are correct. She got them on Amazon, but I told her to get a bunch of them. She did. I mean, people are going to either listen or they're going to pay the price. Now, you understand that's a redneck bidet. Rich people have a bidet in their bathroom so they can sit down and get their little tushy parts and their little, butt cleaned off. Well, that's a redneck bidet. And you can just go there and you squirt it. Those are $250 milliliter, that is 8 ounces. Perfect size. You don't need 16 ounces. That's too big, unless it's a family operation and you just leave the water in it, but I prefer just to put the water in it, use it. You can use it warm if you want, or cold, or whatever. So that is the next thing. Get those, get as many as you can, issue them to people, sell them. And it's a business. Get a crap load of them, because they ain't going to be around. All right. The next thing is, again, on sanitation, and I'll tell you what, I wish I had a computer. This is a pain in the neck getting everything on here. All right. The next is for women, and I am deadly serious about this, because this will be a deadly serious deal. I have foreseen that you're going to have search and rescue teams out, and they're going to be co-ed. I mean, mothers are going to be out looking for their kids. Boys are going to be looking for their fiance, vice versa. Dads are going to be looking for children. Their daughter's going to be with them, or whatever. They might have a boyfriend with the daughter. There is absolutely no reason in the world for a woman to go anywhere out in the woods and have to drop her pants in order to take a leak. All right? And I'll tell you why. There's a lot of these devices out there. They are a female urinary device, a FUD. F-U-D. If you put that in a search engine, it will probably give you hits. Okay, just F-U-D. But Go Girl is by far the best. It's the Mercedes. It's the whatever you want to call it, the Lamborghini, the Mercedes-Benz, the Lincoln Continental, the Cadillac of female urinary devices. You can also get them fairly reasonable. That one there has an extension tube, which I think is a bit long. I don't think anybody needs 12 inches hanging out in front of them. But, hey, you can always cut it in half and give half to another girl. Aha. Okay, so these, they're silicone, and you flick them, they're dry. Put them in your pocket, put them back in a little bag, whatever. You know, they got to come with carriers, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. Molly. You know what Molly is? M-O-L-L-E, military. Where in the world did it go? Very irritating. I had these all lined up. See, whatever that does, it just sends it crazy. Okay. Now this is not, I wouldn't say extravagant. If you're going out and you're going to be out in the woods, this is a molly pack attachable to a any military vest. It's got a carabiner. It's camouflage. That one would be awesome. Silicone is hydrophobic. It basically fears water. Water cannot stick to it. Urine cannot stick to it. Okay? It will repel water. Like I said, you shake it. It's sanitary, it's clean. Of course, urine is totally sanitary, which is part of another story that we're going to get to. Things that you need to do. Bring your own research to the party, start looking at urine therapy. Okay, Go Girl. 5-joy, cold steel. I had one that I wanted to show you. 5-gallon buckets. Boy, I'll tell you, man, that's a necking the pain, a pain in the neck here. Lightly used, lightly used. K-Flex, Go Girl. There you go. Okay, this, years ago I spent some serious time brainstorming, trying to crack the code, trying to hack female urinary devices. You know, would this work? Would that work? Would a funnel work? How cheap can you get it? This is not loading. There it is. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Okay, these are similar to Go Girl. They're cheaper. They're not $10 or $15 a piece. Look at that price. 5 of them for $5.50. So I would order 100 packs of those, or 1,000 of them, just to have them on hand to issue to women as they come in here. People, get those. If you can order 100 of them. At a Go Girl at $10 a piece, I mean, you could order these and sell them for whatever. Sell them for $5 a piece. Double your money anyway. Triple your money. Quadruple your money. Every one of those is worth, it's worth its weight in gold. They are silicone, believe it or not. They're silicone. Shake it, it's clean. Okay, so it doesn't come with a fancy little tube, and it doesn't come with a fancy little glittery bag. Big, deal. BFD. Okay? Get some of those. Get as many as you can. Issue them to your daughter, your wives. If you're a woman, buy as many as you can. And it has to make offer. I mean, I would say, oh, I'll take 100 of them at, instead of $550, $450, whatever. Okay? Listen to me. Do it. That's an order. Do it. Get those because it'll save lives, or at least keep you from getting raped if you're a woman. Like I said, you have to do number 2. Okay, that's understandable. You do that once a day. Some people, whatever, you can hold it. You can wait for the opportunity. You can get in the van. You can go behind a bush. You can climb down the mountain, climb up the mountain. That's understandable. You got your shovel, you're good. But you take a leak. With this thing, you can water the tree. You can water the tires just like the guys. So, and I'll tell you what. Let me just say this. Some of you out there are going to end up where I'm at, or I will come to where you're at, because I'm going to be traveling. Jersey and I are going to be traveling, okay? We're going to go and help people move if necessary. I mean, we're planning on being mobile one way or another. It's got to work out. We are establishing EPHRAIM'S Rescue, okay? Operation EPHRAIM'S Rescue. The people involved will be called EPHRAIM'S Rescuers. 2 reasons I said, because a lot of the people that are going to be rescued will be of the tribe of Ephraim, and it's in honor of Ephraim Hanks, who helped rescue the Mormon Handcart Company back in 1856, I think. Okay? Get it done. Where are we at? Doggone it. 21 minutes. All right, so I think that was it on sanitation. Shovel, toilet seats. Get a luggable loo, a fancy one if you want. Those snap-on toilet seats are great. I've used them for a long time. If you can visibly look at them or order one of them and make sure it's a good quality. We've got one that's got, well, here. All right. Like I say, we got one. No. You can go to Walmart and get a cheap $5 seat. This is where it's more round and it's flat on the bottom. This one is, concave. But what a friend of mine did was take, and this is brilliant, he took one bucket and he cut it off about that far from the top. He attached the seat to that. So that slips down inside another bucket. It doesn't stick. It doesn't, you can pull it out real easy. It shields some of the lower bucket. And when you fill it up to about the bottom of that, let's say you did it this big, and you filled it up to about that point, that's your cutoff point. You don't fill it up any more than that. And you pull it out. You take it, rinse it off if you need to. And then, but he's got just 2 little, or 3 or 4 little L brackets, and he just screws it into the seat, screws it into the bucket. So, very cool idea. This is one of the seats, and this is from 1999 Y2K, and not pinching, but there's a crack through it right there. And then this thing has been out in the weather. I mean, you can see the dirt and stuff, but it is cracked there. It's cracking here. It got hit with something here. Yeah, it's starting to crack there. So that's the idea. That's a pretty comfortable seat. What I do is it's small. So you just sit forward, and then I'll have a 1-gallon jug with the top cut off, so I can hold on to it and just pee into that. That way, that can be dumped out somewhere, and you're not mixing your urine with the poo, and you maintain a lot better control of the odor. And of course, for odor coverage, you just use some rotting sawdust, dirt, humus out of the forest, whatever. I mean, it's perfectly good. We have used those inside the house. When there's a power outage, we don't think anything of putting one in the house. Another way to do it for a permanent situation or semi-permanent, permanent situation if you're in a facility, is a handicapped that sits around the toilet with the 4 legs. Those are great. You stick a 5-gallon bucket on them. They got the seat. They're solid. They're heavy. I mean, they're heavy duty. You can sit on them. If you're 300 pounds, you can sit on them. Have a comfortable seat. You got a bucket on it. Bucket's 3/4 full, half 3/4 full, boom, you take it out. Okay, no odor, no smell, no nothing. Rotting sawdust is the best, but you just the black dirt from soil, from a forest or whatever, is good. Anything to cover the smell, and then also you've already are instantly initiating a bacteriological breakdown of the manure. I had a friend, the same one that designed that thing. He just took it and put it out in the pasture, on top of the ground, just to see. And he said a week later you couldn't even tell. There's no odor, no nothing, completely broken down from the organisms on top of the soil. That's what the organisms on top of the soil do. That's their job in life. They're called they're manure worms or garbage worms. The surface worms, the little pencil lead diameter worms, little short worms like that, are manure worms, garbage worms, tiger worms, whatever. They eat poop. You can't poop enough to feed them, no matter how many people you got, because they double their population every 2 weeks or so. All right, so sanitation, that was about it on that. Yep, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one off and hope for another one.